Southern Riverbend with Let It Ride to bring us back into the Four Wheel Drive podcast powered by Tyrepower. The Four Wheel Drive podcast on Instagram, episodes over on BackChat's YouTube. Patrons, love it. Thank you for your support. And the Four Wheel Drive podcast is where you get your merch. You can enter your ultimate four wheel drive and get to us with a few voice messages and give us a little bit of shit. Ronny,
how good is this coffee?
Oh, mate, it is. What's the time? 5:59 a.m. You've been sitting here since 5:40 a.m.
5:32.
Were you here at 5:32?
5:33.
There you go. That is very good for you.
Yeah, well, it got changed by 15 minutes, but I didn't change my alarm clock this morning.
Why are we here so early, Jaden?
We had to do those ad reads, mate.
That's right. And geez, weren't they some fun?
Yeah.
We found out a thing or two about Ronny, let me tell you.
Yeah, Ronny's got some mates that do some things.
Yeah, and get hacked.
Yeah, get hacked.
Well, not with NordVPN, they won't.
Ronny, how's the Hunt and Brew, mate? Going down a treat?
Mate, it's going down a treat. It's going down an absolute treat.
Still your dream, isn't it?
Yes.
It's still
It's still my dream.
Yeah, like there's some big brands that look after you. That you've been in you're a well-connected man in the four-wheel drive industry, but all you want. Oh no!
Oh,
that is what is that? That might be them now.
Let's wake up.
Could be Hunt and Brew.
Could be them calling. We live.
Get them on.
But no, it's an early start, so well done, boys. Jaden was here well before I was here, and I was here at 5:20, and Jaden was already slaving away on the computers.
Yep.
Wow.
He told me that he slept here, and I kind of believe him.
So, what, you got toothpicks in your eyes?
Yeah, mate, I am barely keeping it awake over here. Need to get myself a Hunt and Brew or something.
And he actually, no, you don't. You were drinking a Coke Zero and eating beef jerky. So there's a picture of health just sitting right over there.
Just over here.
Beef jerky
Zero
that early.
sugar.
I think he got 5 a.m. muddled up with 5 p.m.
Jeez, how does the gut go with that?
Yeah, we don't worry about it.
You know what? I guess, back in the 90s and 80s, people used to roll out of bed with smoke in their mouth,
True. I still do that.
True.
Hey, just a little one. I just want to touch on Tyrepower, Australian owned, independently operated. Can you remember how many stores in WA alone?
56.
No, 58.
Damn it. I said it last time.
But it's probably I only mentioned them in the heading, so I just thought we'd give them another little plug.
No.
They're looking after the show. They're looking
That's
after
good.
us.
I was actually talking to a mate about this after footy training yesterday.
Yeah.
We were talking about Tyrepower because I need to get my wheels balanced.
Yep.
And he was like, mate, how many stores have you got in WA? 58, I said.
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely nailed it. I wasn't 100% sure. Like off the guess yesterday, off the top of the head, after footy training. It was pretty sore. Wasn't on the top of the head. Guessed it. So I'm pretty happy right now.
58, yeah.
Yeah, pretty
I feel
happy.
like I've really said that a lot.
Yeah, definitely
That's
remembered
definitely
it.
at the start. 58 alone.
Why am I saying 56?
That's your age?
Yeah.
No, sorry, mate.
If you didn't say it, I was about to.
Oh, no. Hey, let's crack into it. Right off, after Ronny just sculled a Hunt and Brew. That's gone. That was
It's gone.
literally gone in the second. Tough dog tip of the week for us, mate. I know it's early.
Yeah, well, make sure you got a Hunt and Brew in your fridge in the morning.
It's good. It's a great tip.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
Very good tip.
No,
It's a good tip.
let's talk about parabolics and regular leaf suspension.
Good, because I've got no idea about a lot of that.
Yeah. So, if you want a noisy car that flexes a lot, parabolics. If you want a quiet car that's stiff as a ironing board or like a 70,
Yep.
then just go your conventional leaf pack.
So
That's more or less what it boils down to. So when people, they want the more flex and they go the parabolics, they get all this noise, clunks and clanks and yeah.
So parabolics, you're saying, is noisier.
There's a lot more movement.
A lot more movement, okay.
There's less leaves, but it moves so much and then it's scrubbing on the side. So when you first have it, it's fine. It's all good. But
Yep.
as soon as you get dust, maybe a bit of salty air or whatever,
Yep.
once they sort of dry up a little bit and the rubber starts wearing in, it's going to be noisy for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no way to counteract that?
Yeah, there's axle grease,
Right.
but that is short-lived. Yeah.
I caught up with Salty last week. And I think he's just put in the parabolic. He was showing me a parabolic
Okay.
suspension.
That'll be nice and quiet now. Doesn't matter what brand it is.
Yeah, right. He said it's improved the ride though.
Yeah.
dramatically. Well, not dramatically, but he said he's trying to make it, a little bit comfier, and he said it's helping so far.
Yeah. That definitely will help with that.
Yeah.
I am considering going back to parabolics as well.
In the Troopy?
On the 76.
On the 76, yep.
I think the Troopy's probably, they could do it as well, but yeah. It seems to ride okay because it's so freaking heavy.
Yeah, it's just nice and soft anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, but the 76, I'm thinking about it. So Chris has got him, and yeah, he doesn't like the sound much.
Yeah, okay.
So I said to him,
it's that noticeable.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because around the city and stuff, because he comes from a Prado, right?
Yeah. Oh, true.
So I said to him, well, why don't you just change back to the old Leaf? But he's like, no, I like the way it rides.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the thing. So you have to sacrifice something. So my tip is you have to decide if you're going to sacrifice the sound or the comfort.
Yep. Righto. So there's the tip. Ask yourself the question: sound or comfort? I think the sound, like when, if I'd been away on a trip, this is just in the Ranger because obviously I haven't been in one in the Cruiser yet. But and that wasn't parabolic leaves. Like parabolic leaves. It was just standard.
Yeah.
But as soon as a bit of noise came into it, because it might have been a bit of water and dust and whatever caught up in there before I cleaned it up and whatever, that noise pissed me off so much. Just a tiny bit of noise in there was just the most annoying thing because every little bump finds it. Like there could be a pebble on the road, you knock it and it makes a noise. It was just so frustrating. I don't know if I could put up with that flat out.
Sounds like your dry bushes or something.
Yeah, I would have no idea why they'd be making a noise.
That's usually, if you get noise from your suspension, that's not a clunk or a click. It's sort of squeaky stuff like that. Then that's usually your bushes that are gone.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't happen with the latest suspension I had on it. It only happened with the one before, but
yeah, probably because it got a bit old.
Probably old. Yeah, I'd say so.
If you start hearing clunks afterwards, that means the bushes are completely gone.
Yeah, okay. Actually, no. I think I want to talk to you about that at a later date.
Oh, I can actually give you another tip here, but it's not really a tip.
Yeah, go for it.
Go on.
If you want good flex out of your 70, out of any 70 on the front end, just take the sway bar out. Now, the reason why I know this...
Is that very safe?
No, it's not.
Okay.
The reason why I know this is because my sway bar broke on my 79. And it happened to break when me and Jono were trying to film the content for diff lockers. The reason to use diff lockers and the reason to have diff lockers. So you know that bit where we were in the Grenadier and your Ranger and we're lifting wheels and Jaden got a bit sketchy in your car.
Yeah. I just really don't like the Ranger.
Well, imagine that in a 70. In my 79, no sway bar in the front, and I could not get it not to drive it without, no lockers. I was trying to get it so it wouldn't drive. And I was even driving the worst line possible because I needed the wheels to spin to get the content. I couldn't get the shot.
What's a no sway bar and you just
drove
flexing around?
Yeah, it just flexed
Crawling.
so well. The downside to that was, obviously on the highway, it wasn't very sturdy.
Yeah.
It was okay, but if I had to swerve something, it probably wouldn't have been good, but I had to drive it home. But the other bad point was the remote canisters sit on top of the shock towers inside, and the wheels are going up so far it knocked off one of the straps.
Oh, really?
And it was taking off the next strap, and the whole arch was getting, scuff marks and everything.
Right, it's getting eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you're telling me, you're saying take your sway bar away, Duggo? That's what I'm hearing.
Well, if you want to go wheeling, yeah. but what I think, actually, this has led me to think something else. Why doesn't the industry focus on how to maybe just mitigate a little bit so it doesn't top out or hit those things, but you can make a little sway bar disconnect for the 70. It'll have way more flex.
The Prado's got the sway bar disconnect, doesn't it? Is it the Prado or the Grenadier?
It does, but it only improves it by slightly.
Marginally, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it kind of it makes it a bit softer as well on the front.
You're not surprised, though, that they don't have that for the 70, are you?
Well,
it'd be cool to have it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
70 is a bit of a different... they should be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably charge 100.
Maybe I'll take it off and put it on the 70.
Maybe. I don't mind that tough dog tip of the week. Something to think about. It's juicy four-wheel drive stuff, that is.
Which one, the flex or the parabolics?
No, keep your sway bar on.
Yeah, that wasn't a tip.
The ask yourself the question: tip about parabolic or standard leaf. I think that's a
Ask
good
yourself what the sacrifice is going to be,
Yeah.
the ride quality or the sound.
Yep. Which I think affects the ride quality if I'm thinking about sitting in that front seat. Anyway, moving on to On the Radar. Jaden has found one for us here. So a volunteer group, Clean for Shore. I like that. Clean, the number 4, Shore.
So this is like a beach cleanup.
Yes. They tirelessly remove waste from Aussie waterways every weekend, and they have slammed four-wheel drive campers for adding to their cleanup efforts after retrieving piles of discarded beer cans and food wrappers near tyre tracks left in the sand. The amount of rubbish they cleared at one bay in New South Wales totaled 440 kilos. So there's a few. There's a link here. I don't know if Jaden can bring it up for you to see, Ronnie, but
Near four-wheel drive tracks or near the shoreline?
Near tyre tracks left in the sand, whether that's on the beach or on tracks in the dunes. But, it's showing a fair bit of stuff here. And I think, Jaden, the reason you're putting it in, I'm assuming, is to, again, reiterate the point of clean up after yourself, please.
Yes.
Because then people like this might be able to have a spell. Bo from Outback Cleanups might be able to have a spell.
Yep.
It's pretty sad because it's just littering is very much looked down upon, let alone littering in some of our most beautiful and protected spaces.
It's just no care, really, isn't it?
Nah.
One thing I will say though is not all the litter you see on a track that's near a beach that's close to the water.
Yep.
Is all from, say, the minority of four drivers being pigs. It's sometimes old rubbish that's been buried by people who fish. It's also rubbish that's come from boats.
Yep.
And
they do mention that in the article. It's been a lot of like drift rubbish and
it's everything combined. It's like boaties just throwing shit in the water.
Yep.
It might be the same person who drove the car there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And then I think they found a few oyster buckets and stuff like that, and just so there are some stuff like fisho stuff going on, but yeah, it's just a nice. It's not a nice reminder. It's an ugly reminder that we need to be better collectively.
I'm not sure, but I remember when I was younger, I remember seeing on the TV, like adverts on TV, Clean Up Australia, keep Australia beautiful. You don't see that shit anymore.
Nah.
All you see is fucking stupid reality shows.
Yeah.
There's no advertorial stuff that puts out the message anywhere. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I don't see it very much at all.
It's like it's like all the recycling.
This would be the main place I see it is chatting on this podcast and chatting to Bo and stuff like that. That's the only sort of time I see it.
Yeah, it's the only time you really hear about it.
I tell you what, it'd be great to insert a bin bag. So I think did Rafa have a bin bag?
Yeah.
Destination 4-wheel drive. Go check out a bin bag. If you're struggling to put your rubbish somewhere on a trip or out in the bush, then Destination 4-wheel drive might be your place. There's a couple of other good ones around, but Destination 4-wheel drive, premium quality bin bag. No plug, no paid plug there.
On the car too.
Yeah, not a paid plug, but it's a perfect time just to mention. Get yourself somewhere to put your rubbish. If you don't have anywhere to put it, then it becomes difficult to store it in the car. It could go flying. You don't want it inside the cab.
Yep.
So you got to think about these things before you head out.
And a shout out to Bo because he's got the shade sail bags we can put glass in. Righto.
Yeah. Oh, he's got them on his own, like his own product.
Right. Made from secondhand, like recycled shade sails.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, anyway, Clean for Sure doing good things, but let's help them out a little bit. Bo from Outback Cleanup's doing great things as well, but we can help these people out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think by spreading the message, it's just finding the right way to do it, because if I was, say, for instance, if we were to talk about rubbish, if we had a whole dedicated episode to it, we're preaching to the choir.
Yep.
If I was to make a video about it, it would be preaching to the choir, hence why I've made limited ones on it. I'll make mentions. But there is a way you can get the message across, but it's just going to take a lot of production and adding a lot of comedy or some shocking elements in there, because you need the people who are the problem to watch.
Yeah.
And if you can't get them to watch or people to share it around, what's the point?
You can't feel good about yourself if you know you're the people throwing
I
rubbish.
honestly don't think they even think about it.
Yeah, I
like
reckon?
that. No, I don't. Because if people did think like that, it'd be far less rubbish. I think, I think a lot of them are like, that just can't be fucked taking it back out, or they just want to be cool, you know? And then everyone else is peer pressured, you know? There'll be like some alpha male who took them out there or whatever, and the rest are like, yeah, man.
That's the thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty shit.
Yep, I agree. Anyway, clean up after yourself, please.
Please.
And
Right, clean up after other people. Even though
you
shouldn't have to. But
shouldn't have to.
You kind of do have to.
Yep, it's everyone's responsibility. I agree. All right, Jaden.
Yes.
I want to move into the ultimate four-wheel drive now, but
You nervous?
no, I think you've cut me off.
Cut you off.
Yeah, because I've only got. I think where you put that little. Can you have a look at the run sheet?
Should we have a law while you?
Yeah, give us a law. While
All right. I think
I've only got from 3 things you love,
Scroll up a bit.
and then it's just
You're scrolling the wrong way.
it's
mate.
just on the radar above that.
Have you been hacked?
Oh,
Is your
I haven't
NordVPN not on?
subscribed to NordVPN. It must have ran out.
All right. If you are in WA, do not, under any circumstances, pick up bird droppings or bat droppings. It is illegal to collect guarda without a license.
I don't feel like these are real, Ronnie.
It's unlawful to collect or remove seabird or bat guardo, like droppings without a license. Under section 387 of the WA Criminal Code. If you're scraping bat poo off something, anything, any surface without a license, it's punishable by up to 1 year in jail.
What are people doing with bat shit?
Well, yeah, I think it's an old law. You know, because bat shit, guarda used to be like worth a lot.
Is it?
Yeah, you used to use it for explosives and things like
Oh,
that.
really?
It's fertilizer, some form of fertilizer.
Wow.
All poo is fertilizer, really, if it's used in the right way. Now,
This is true. I've just searched it. What is going on?
it's also illegal to steal a tame pigeon. Doesn't say anything about a pigeon. It's not tame, but a tame pigeon. If you steal a tame pigeon, it's also punishable.
Wow. I just. Yeah. What are we allowed to do in this world? If we can't scrape bat poo.
Imagine being done for scraping up bat poo.
Yeah.
And you're just cleaning your roof or something.
Just like 3 cop cars rock
Yeah.
up and they're like, oi. That is. How are you finding these, by the way?
Well, it's a bit of a secret.
Is it?
I'll tell you off air.
The most random things I've ever heard of that are actually true. Like you search them in on Google and there's articles and there's.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even search that one on Google.
Oh, you've got are you sitting with the judge or something? What's going on?
Give me the most random law you can charge me with.
Ronnie, have you ever had to jump on the dodgy servo Wi-Fi?
Mate, all the time. But I got hacked once.
Well, I've got one for you. Run NordVPN, keep everything secure, even if you're in the middle of nowhere. It's got this threat protection thing too. Blocks all the dodgy stuff from even loading. You're all safe out there. And all for a servo coffee a month in terms of cost.
Ooh, speaking of coffee, I could do one right now.
Me too. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/4WD and our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Links in the podcast episode description. Anyway, I'll tell you who's not been scraping bat poo is Jason Squires, who sent us his ultimate four-wheel drive. Now, I don't know if our viewers are going to be happy, but he sent us in a... It's not his fault. We've chosen to go with this, but it's a 2024 Toyota 79 Series dual cab Ute. So we've gone to 76
Another
and
Toyota.
79. Yeah.
Oh, you're really
Oh,
upsetting the people.
They make a quality car. Jaden just rubbing it in, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's I'm a driver Toyota. I'm fine. I'm enjoying it.
It's all good. We're all here.
So there's not a lot of detail around spending, but he might get into it. But we don't have the standard 3 things he loves, 3 things he doesn't love.
What happened?
But he has spoken to us, so we're all good. So he said, Jason has said, G'day, fellas. Been listening to the podcast since the start of harvest this year and been a great listen. Ronny has already cost me 2 Land Cruisers from that one meme pic of his on the beach way back. That pic has put hundreds of Aussies into car debt.
I know that one.
You are a real
Pretty
prick.
sure Rafa sent something through similar. He was like, mate, this is the car that made me move to Australia and get a 70 series.
Really? Yeah. Gee whiz, you've just uprooted Rafa from his home.
Mate, Venezuelans are coming over like they're all...
I do like that photo.
It's a good photo, mate.
It is a good photo.
It's a great photo.
Yeah.
I use like filters, all kinds of stuff for that photo.
Yeah. I love how...
Like actual filters, not like post filters.
Yeah.
That photo's cost people the cumulative amount of people it's cost like over $1 million easily.
That storm in the background,
million,
I know we're getting sidetracked now, but that storm in the background you see in that photo, that hit us fucking hard.
Yeah.
Worth it, though.
Worth it.
So where did I finish there?
Glad to hear.
He's in a lot of debt. Glad to hear that I finally picked the right car. Absolutely. And then he's got a few pics of his 2024 Julie for inspiration. A lot of work done by WA fabricators. So I'll probably check this out and go and... So you've cost Jason, and now Jason's costing me. And he said, which I get it, you can't take your money to the grave, lash out, keep the episodes coming, legends. Jason leashed down in Darkin, WA. So... yeah, good to hear from some locals. You ever been to Darkin? I've been there.
Darkin. I've heard it before.
Yeah.
So
You haven't been there?
I'm not sure. Where is it?
It's not too far away. Probably, I don't want to get it wrong for Jason Leash, but it's probably 2.5, 3 hours long.
Wheat Belt.
It's just past Collie.
Yeah, sort of like southern wheat belt, right on the edge, I would have thought. Oh, yeah, no, it'd be wheat belt, Darkin. I don't know where the wheat belt finishes and ends and starts and ends, but anyway, it's a little town there. It's pretty cool. Good people.
Darkin.
Good people. So anyway, where are the photos, Jaden?
Yeah,
I want
we'll
to
have
see
a look
this
at them now. You ready?
79.
It's a Sandy.
Oh, it's a Sandy. Oh, it's a 24 too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he says that.
I didn't hear that either though.
Yeah, right. I love that. How's the...
It's got double door on the back.
Yeah, gee whiz. It's making mine look like a little boy. Oh, wait.
Single door on one side.
Oh,
double door on the other.
yeah, right. So different setup on either side. I'm starting to think Jason and Leash don't have a house. They just live out of this thing. Swank. There's a bit of swank work there. Mate, that is cool. I wish if I was on a farm, I would have that bar for sure. I reckon there's nothing cooler than that big. What do you even call that bar?
That is
it a tough bar, or is it not tough maybe, but similar look?
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Oh, we better explain it for the people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not watching.
So yeah, it's a 4-poster bull bar, and it's got the double brush rails going down. I forgot what they're called, them bars. Oh my god,
I love them. But it's on a Sandy 79 dual cab. Canopy in the back has got everything you could dream of. Interesting setup. It's got one door one side and then a split door down the other side. Split into two. It looks like it's had everything done. Wheels, tyres.
It looks like a completely different car on one side than the other.
Yeah, it does, which I like. There's obviously a purpose for that. This is obviously the living side, and I'm assuming the other side may be storage or dogs. Because I reckon if you go to the back, Jaden, as well,
you can see it's quite shallow on that side.
Yeah,
you notice.
And there's actually a is there the photo where we can see the actual back of the canopy on one of them? Yeah, see the little.
There's
like a little mesh flap there as well, which may be another little breathing hole for dogs. I don't know, or maybe just a bit of ventilation. I'm not sure. Torqued exhaust I can see down there. Like it's had the works. Water tank, you can see the water outlet there down the in the middle as well.
Those rims have actually surprised me. They actually look pretty good.
They do look good, don't they? I wouldn't picture a silver rim to look good on a Sandy 79.
That's what I was thinking. Like if you were telling me that, I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah. And I reckon, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but if they're the Clearview compact mirrors, that's what I've chosen to go with too. So I've got them coming, which I'm hoping because they look sick. That is a really nice car, and I'm not going to ask because it's rude, but I would love to know how much it's gone into it. Well, but like you said, don't take it to the grave.
Yeah. So he's definitely been on eBay because those those weather shields. That's the only place you can get them.
Ah, righto.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
In like that shade.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Have you got them?
Yes.
Worth it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can crack the window a bit if it's raining and stuff.
Yeah, righto. I might jump on there.
Yeah. And also gives you the illusion that dust isn't coming in. But it is.
That's good.
No, thanks, Jace. That is a very nice 79. Now that is like, so obviously, like you said, you can't take money to the grave, and there's a bit that's gone into that, no doubt. So
You can always
it's a different market, that ultimate four-wheel drive.
make more money, but you can't buy time.
Yeah. So what are you saying? Do what Jace has done.
Well, do what you want to do.
That is, yeah. So that's a high-end ultimate four-wheel drive. That one.
Yeah,
That's.
definitely.
I wonder. Like, I know we haven't exactly
like
got
to-
the purpose and stuff that he's using it for, but it looks like that's set up to tour, big time.
But I'd also like to see like just some photos from the other side.
Yeah, yeah. See
So
what's
if
in there.
we could get those photos,
I'm going to assume dog boxes, like not dog boxes.
Well, maybe one of them.
storage, but mate, yeah. The other thing,
That depends. I mean, he might be pig hunting.
Yeah,
So who knows?
I reckon,
Maybe there's a reason he can't show us.
mate, it's gunbox. He has the imagine setting that up. So like he's just finished harvest, obviously. So imagine they're going to seed soon, and that's home base set up at the gate, and you pull up the machines down there, and you've got a full scale kitchen, coffee, and that'd be pretty nice.
That would be pretty nice, and to be able, yeah. That's, I mean,
Rather than having to drive back to the house, which is
you had the pie woman there too. You had
yeah,
everything.
like you could. That's literally
Yeah.
home base while you're out there.
No, that actually, yeah, no, it makes a lot more sense now as well. Because during harvest, they're not going anywhere.
No, they're
That's-
working day and night.
Yeah,
through that
literally
time.
day and night. Yeah. So my brother-in-law who's out at Kadoo out Wongan Hills way.
Yeah.
He Navara ordered a 40. No, he doesn't drive a 40 too much. But the Navara, he's got the fridge and all that in it. Everyone hangs around his car. They put their lunches and stuff in his car.
Yep. Makes
So
sense.
yeah, and yeah, they're working freaking hard, man.
Yeah. I love it harvest time or like any time really, seed as well. But when you head out to the, if you just head out to the wheat belt here, I'm sure it's the same across Australia and definitely in the southern parts. But where you go out and then you just see the lights on the hill of like the big machinery going flat out, and then there's a glow over there and there's a glow over there. It's so, I reckon it's unreal to see.
And then all of a sudden you're driving through dust.
Yeah. But it's like the sort of like the paddocks are alive when it's that time of year. Probably hard slog for them, but cool to drive through.
Well, I think a lot of them like to work at night because generally it's freaking hot as well.
Yeah, true. Yep. No, love it. Thank you, Jace. Thank you, Leash. That is, that has given me some inspiration. Next minute, I've got the Tough Bar on.
Yes, it's a tough bar.
Tough Bar, yeah.
Yes.
Is that's?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the brand. Oh, there might be other brands, but I'm pretty sure Tough's the brand.
I'm pretty sure it's a tough bar. Yeah, that one had a hammer tone.
Yeah, okay. I like it. So anyway, thanks for sending in. Now, let's go. I want to quickly, because you don't have long, you got to get to...
Salty's got the tough bar. Hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. It looks really, really good on there too. That's a big heavy... That thing is that big. That troopy.
It's huge.
It's so high. I parked next to it. I was like, what have I done here?
Oh, he's still got a rooftop, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's looking unreal. He's just put some like superior stuff, like a lot of superior stuff underneath as well.
Yeah.
Torsion bars and it's looking mint. Anyway, little fleet update from you. Well, yeah, that's so funny.
Little fleet update.
Yeah, can you give us one? That's a question.
Give me a couple of weeks.
Oh,
Maybe.
Really?
Maybe a month.
okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I don't know. Did you have a loaded question here, Jade?
Nah, just
Just wanted the fleet update.
I just haven't heard anything about the Troopy, the
Oh,
76, the Prado in a while.
sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Oh, I like where it's taken us,
Yeah,
though.
it's good now.
I've got more
we've got
questions.
something going on
Shit.
here.
I've got a lot more questions.
So, yeah. So the Troopy... Oh, shit, I forgot to get back to bloody Travis last night. Troopy's going to go in for service pretty soon. We're going to do the wheel bearings. I'm going to do some hands-on with the wheel bearings. I just want to remind myself, just because I haven't done it for a while, just to pack the wheel bearings, just so when one does fail, because it's just a matter of time, really, then just sort it out a lot quicker, a lot cleaner out in the bush. So the Troop is going to get a good service soon, ready for the canning. The 76 just got serviced. That was an odd experience, actually. I went in for a service. I told them I had this sound underneath the car. It was the exhaust rattling. And I figured it's probably cracked. But what I figure is they must have just tightened some bolts up. And I'll get to that. And then I rang them. And they're like, they rang me, said the car's ready. I said, did you find the rattle? Oh, no. So they had another look. And then 2 hours later, I rang them. And then they were like, yeah, come in around this time. So I drove in half an hour after I should have been there. And the car was ready. But the guy I was talking to said, no, we just took the car out and we couldn't detect any rattle. And then I was like, it's fucking obvious, right? So I'm like, am I getting like just a fucking run around here? So I'm like, well, it's pretty obvious where it is. Like, and then I got told I had to come back between 10 and 2 because that's the only time where it's not the busy time where people can actually come and have a look at it. And I'm like, fucking hell. Like, I don't want to look like too much of an idiot, like a dickhead, sorry, because I had people behind me and stuff. So I was like, fuck, you know what? I'm just going to go out and I'll get someone else to look at it. And then if it is something, then I'll take it back.
Yeah.
But I'll be really pissed off. Got out, the car comes out, no fucking rattle at all. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I jump in the car and it's doing a DPF burn. So I'm like, maybe it's because it's doing a DPF burn, the metal is expanded and it's not allowing it to rattle. Sure enough, DPF burn stops, the car cools down, last couple of days, no rattle. I reckon someone's tightened the bolts, but not spoken to someone.
Yeah, right.
And then like I'm there going, you can't see it's rattling?
Yeah. That's communication breakdown.
It's such a weird, like, and I walked out there thinking, I came across probably like a bit of a dickhead, because I'm like, really?
Are these your normal mechanics?
No, I was took it to Toyota.
Oh, it's just Toyota.
Yeah, because it's cap price servicing.
Yeah.
But it just goes between so many people. But what I will say is that's cap price servicing, which is all good for around the city, country driving. But when I'm going to do the canning, I'm actually going to get the car looked at by someone else to look at specific areas on the car.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
And that's another tip.
Do you have someone in mind there?
Well, I'll take it to Trav if he's got time.
Yeah, yep.
At
Yep.
PDP,
Course,
just have a good look. But, if a wheel bearing should fail on it, that's fine. Because by then I would, I've got the kit anyway. And I would have just had another practice at it.
Yep.
So just not the front. The front one sucks.
Yeah, righto.
They go swivel hubs and all that.
So what areas are you telling them to look at specifically before you do the canning?
Mainly suspension components. Anything under the engine bay that might look a bit, like let's just change it, and then we'll keep whatever we change as a spare maybe. Bit selective on spares because you can only carry so much. Brakes in particular. So when I actually put it in for service, I said to them, if the brakes are less than 50%, I want them just changed now. And I got a phone call and they were like, the front ones are just over 50 and the back ones are still 80. I said, nah, that's fine, leave it.
Yep.
Tyres, just anywhere where there's a connection of something that's got heavy movement, more or less suspension, really. It's more or less just suspension.
Yep.
Then I'll be doing a check myself. That's like on all the roof racks and all the mounts and all that. Because if anything comes loose like that, it's just going to cause further problems later. Not like problems you can't get out of the bush, but cosmetic problems on a car. You don't want that. You get more scrapes and scrubs and dents and things like that. So that's probably about it, really.
Yep. And then that canning trip when is that? Is that soon?
Yeah, that's in May.
Have you planned, ready to go already? Like, is that mapped out, stops and stuff, or that was something you'll get into later?
I've done my deep research on it. Now I just got to lay it all out on a board.
Yep.
And then it's at that point now, but I'm in the middle of planning for the Pilbara at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Is that before?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So Pilbara's like during the school holidays.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then
Yep.
back for Easter. And
Yep.
then as soon as I get back from that, then that's just like heavy planning, prepping.
Yep.
Then off to the canning.
Yep.
Yeah. So the whole prep thing will be a thing on its own as well.
Yep.
Be documenting that a little bit because I think people would like to know a bit more about that as well.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that'd be great.
So how far out are you ready to go, kind of, that you could just go, oh, yeah, I'm done from leaving, from your leave date?
I like to be more or less ready 2 weeks before. But there's always some unforeseen thing. So, yeah, we'll probably be like ready the day before. Nah.
That sounds more normal. That sounds more like a trip that I would do.
Yeah, as in like packing and that, will probably be closer to that. But I'll have like a good idea of what I'm actually going to throw in the car before, because we're tight for space. And because we're doing some other things out there that's you wouldn't normally do on a trip, because we're filming, stuff, and we'll be talking about snake bites and shit like that. So rather than having a real snake biting someone,
Not authentic, mate.
So well, I'm sure we'll see some. Always see some snakes out there, but no, there's plenty of prep to be had, and yeah, that's when the excitement starts building.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a good channel, an American channel called Expedition Overland or X Overland.
Yeah.
You heard of them? Yeah.
Yep.
They do quite they're a big budget sort of operation.
Yeah.
They must have gear and
Yeah, that's Clay and Rachel Croft.
yeah. And they do quite extravagant trips, and they like snow trips and stuff like that, or Africa.
Yeah, or South America or Iceland, and
they sort of do a really good job of like showing you the whole process as well, which is kind of cool. I've enjoyed a couple of their videos as well. They're kind of like the American version of you, I reckon. Like more informational videos rather than just, I'm on a trip, let's film everything.
Yeah.
It's like actually explaining what you're going through. And
Yeah.
it's funny because
they do some cool stuff.
They do.
That's
some
probably
cool
like
stuff.
the only thing I watch on YouTube.
Yeah, is it?
If I'm watching full driving, otherwise it's
That's good to know,
other
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But that's so funny about informational videos, because informative, I don't know what word you use there, but I've just put the exhaust on the car. So
Yeah.
I picked it up yesterday, clutch, exhaust, fuel and diff breather kit, all in there now. Anyway, Callum Jamison, who's a teammate of mine, 76, loves everything cars and forward driving and camping and all. He loves it. He's right into it. And I'll drive past his place. So he was pretty keen to hear how it sounded with the new exhaust on. And I was like, I'll quickly fly past his. It wasn't far off track for where I was on my way home. And anyway, we lifted the bonnet. We were having a look underneath and whatever. And so with the new like fuel kit, obviously the old one's still there. And he's like, have you ever changed one of these before? I was like, no.
Oh,
I wouldn't even know what to do with one. And then he's like, mate, I had to do one out bush once. You know what saved me? Ronny's video. He's like, Ronny taught me how to do it, and he had to change one on the fly on a trip away, and said that your video, that was a Ronny's tip that got him through being able to change it over. So there you go. Mate, people are listening.
There's been a few that have used that video.
Yeah, people are listening. I just thought that was cool, and I almost forgot to tell you. I came here with the idea that I needed to tell you that, and then I almost forgot until now. So I'm glad we got there. Can we go to Around the Fire Pit, please, Jaden?
Yes, we
can.
Do
we still play the sound for that?
No.
Okay.
We got some feedback that it was a bit
It's
it sounded
annoying.
like someone chewing.
Oh,
That's actually fair enough.
should we just chew gum while we're doing it?
Gross.
G'day guys, Aiden here from the Gold Coast. I have recently purchased a 2021 Ford Ranger,
Ooh, hear that
automatic
sound.
6-speed, 3.2 litre. First mod besides the lift kit that everyone wants that I'm going for is going to be the trans cooler. Is there anything else that I should possibly look into to make this thing a reliable workhorse and weekend warrior? Long-time listener of the show, listen to basically every episode on the Spotify's. Love your work, boys. Hope that 79 series is treating you well, Duggo. Cheers, boys. Bye.
It is, mate. Thank you. I do miss getting in the Ranger every day, though. I've still got it, so I'm driving it around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just a nice car. They're just a nice car. Anyway.
But this is the new Ranger he's talking about. Yes.
2021? Yeah, it would be. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's done the best thing he can to that car, and that's the transcooler.
Yeah, see, I would have never even looked into that.
You know what? Because I've been looking into a lot of warranty stuff, so when these cars first came out, people were having overheating issues, particularly when towing, and like gearbox issues, overheating them. And then allegedly, Ford were blaming the bull bars and the spotlights they were putting on the cars because they were aftermarket. But then ARB do OEM parts for Ford, so even those cars were coming back with overheating issues, so they couldn't knock those guys back.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly. So I'm just saying allegedly, just in,
Yep.
Because it's not completed research, but it's be careful. Definitely transcooler first thing on that car, because I took it for a test drive and just going low range in the sand, it was starting to overheat. It was a mate's car, so I backed off when it was like 1 bar from heading up. I got a warning. I was like, let's let it cool down. So me and Jono had an early lunch and stand there chewing the fat about how disappointed we were with the 10-speed overheating. And then afterwards we proceeded. It drove well and everything, but that heating issue, definitely transcooler. You've done the best thing you can to that car. So that one thing would have made that vehicle, in my mind, 50% more reliable.
Did he say 2021 Ford Ranger?
Think so.
Because I reckon that's still the old.
G'day, guys. Aiden here from the Gold Coast. I have recently purchased a 2021 Ford Ranger.
Yeah, I reckon it might be my sort of.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, I've just
The PX2?
It'll be the PX3.
The PX3?
I reckon. Because I've just typed in here and everything popping up is the old shape.
Okay. Well,
So I should probably be able to help
what
him.
advice do you have there, Doggo?
Well, you're saying a transcooler is a great idea. I've never
Not necessarily for that
in
one,
that one. Yeah.
but you can't go wrong.
Yeah, true. I mean, I in terms of like under the bonnet stuff, I don't really have a lot. I tuned mine. I didn't get like a whole lot done, like snorkel, standard airbox.
Actually, snorkel. If you are putting a bull bar on it, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that when you?
They may have. I've forgotten now, but it
Yeah.
makes like I know why that makes sense. But it's
Yeah, because when you put a bull bar on the PX2 3 Ranger,
yeah.
they remove the splash guard, and then there's this direct route
Yeah.
for water. So if you hit a puddle too hard, it'll just go straight into the airbox.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of advice. I wouldn't have near as much of advice as you, even though you don't have a Ranger. But
I mean, that's all I really know about
yeah,
them.
the only issues I ever had with it was a couple of faulty connections. That
Yeah?
there was a little period of time there where there was like
On your
throttle
throttle?
lag. Yeah.
Oh.
So it'd be like nothing, like gutless, and then it would fire. So I'd have my foot down so say I came out of I was coming onto a road, I needed to speed up to a 70 Ks.
yes.
I'd hit like 30, 40 a gear, like auto gear would change,
Yeah.
and then it would just lag out. And then it would click back in. Like I'd just take my foot off the pedal and it's sort of like it'd come back.
Okay.
But it was just all it was just a connection. Like
Right.
an electrical connection
Yeah.
was missing.
To be like a low voltage.
Yeah, it was just not firing, and they hooked all that back up, no worries, and off it went. But there's nothing you can really do to prevent that happening. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But yeah, there's nothing. I don't know.
I reckon one more question. I've really got to bail.
Oh yeah, do you? Yeah.
I think that's it.
Oh, here you go, Ronnie.
Oi.
Bit hard to sound. I had no one to touch the throttle for me.
As you're just filming the exhaust.
That's a comparison.
That's before
This is on my 79 for people not wondering why. Hard to hear. It's more just like the engine noise rather than the exhaust noise.
It's definitely a big difference there.
Massive.
Can you play the new one again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy.
If you listen closely.
Heavier.
Yeah.
Sounding good though. I'm loving it.
Good stuff. All right, well, we can talk more about that later.
Yeah,
for now,
we'll cover that. Yeah.
So you're using more fuel now because you're like, "Rrrr."
No, I've got to let this is an interesting one that I wouldn't mind covering off with you at a later date.
Yeah.
Letting the new clutch bed.
Oh.
So I gave it a little bit of juice coming out of there and stuff like that, but I've got to let the clutch settle in and bed in, and so I've been advised not to drive too hard, no silly changes, no rapid sort of like.
But also don't overthink it either, because then you're changing your style of changing gears.
I can't.
And you want it to bed into how you're changing your gears.
Funny thing though, I pulled up to Jamo's house and I've tried to do a U-turn, and obviously no turning circle on these things, so I've got to do a 3-point turn when I shouldn't need to be doing a 3-point turn. But anyway, because it struggles into first and reverse quite a bit when you throw the new clutch in.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it in reverse. So I'm sitting on like this, I'm about to go up onto this nice like lawn, and I was like, I can't do this. There's like people out the front. It was sort of 5 o'clock at night. So it was like people out watering the gardens, whatever. I almost had to yell out to Jamo and his mate to come and push me back, because I genuinely I was like, I'm going to break something here. But I had to, I remembered what he said. He's like, go back to neutral, clutch out, clutch back in, and it sort of just got back in.
Yeah,
I was fighting it.
The gears just aren't lining up.
Nah, they've got to. So it's got to figure itself out.
Yeah. So sometimes you just got to. You could let it roll forward a little bit.
Yeah. Actually, no, I couldn't. I was on the gutter.
Oh.
So it's like I had to stop.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't go any further. Anyway, bit of a laugh. Let's get you out of here, mate. Let's get you out of here. Play the tune, please, Jaden. Righto, Four Drive Podcast, powered by Tyrepower, Southern River Band with Let It Ride. Seeing Ronny out of here. The Four Drive Podcast on Instagram. All episodes over on BackChat's YouTube. Patrons, thank you for your support. Jade and I might have a quick chat to you. And then the merch, voice messages, and the ultimate four drive, the fourdrivepodcast.com.au.
56 plus 2 stores in WA.
That's right. Well done.